the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, as always, we'll do some housekeeping items. Board, when speaking, please move close to your microphone to ensure you are heard clearly for the YouTube streaming. And I request that citizens who speak to adjust the height and stand close to their microphone. There will be 2 opportunities for citizen comments. We will be requesting that individuals stay within the 4 minutes in both citizen comment sections. We would appreciate everyone keeping their points concise. I would request that comments are made respectfully to the board. We are here to discuss the township's business. Citizen comments should pertain to specific issues, concerns, or policies they would like to bring to the board's attention. The documents on the website are aligned to the items on the agenda. These are draft documents to provide background information only. To be clear, motions are drafted to help the board more quickly get to the final wording and vote on the respective motions. The final motion may look different from the actual action taken by the board. Board, we have one set of minutes to review the regular board meeting of June 18th. Are there any changes or comments to the minutes? Sharon?
I wasn't here, so it looked okay to me, I guess.
Okay, I read through it. I didn't see any changes.
I have none.
Alan? Nope. All right. Kath?
No, sir.
I think you did a great job. All
Short
right.
meeting.
I will make the motion to approve the June 18th, 2024 regular board meeting minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Jason. It is moved and seconded to approve the regular board meeting of June 18th, 2024. Any further discussion regarding the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item, correspondence and announcements. Kathy?
I have 10 of them. Just kidding. We received a thank you note from, several people signed it, but it's from the folks that were at our May 21st meeting. It was Emma, the interim conservation district.
Oh, okay.
I won't read the whole thing, but they thanked us for letting them be a part of our meeting that night. And it was about the recycling program in Antrim County. So follow-up questions, feel free to contact them at the Antrim Conservation District. Okay, and that is it for communications.
All right, thank you. Next item, approval of the agenda. Any comments on the agenda? Hearing none, I will make the motion to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, folks. It is moved and seconded that the agenda is accepted as presented. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We now move to the consent agenda. Anyone wish to pull any of the reports?
No, citizen
Ooh,
comment.
doggone it.
Nope, nope,
Sorry.
nope.
Citizen comment. Do we have anybody?
Yes, we do. We have 3.
All right.
Georgia Lassiter, would you like to be first?
Yes, thank you. I'm Sheriff Lassiter from the Sheriff's Office, and I haven't been here in a while, I apologize. But... Sorry. Yeah, usually don't have to do that, but. Okay.
It's YouTube.
That's really good. Yeah. So usually people tell me to be quiet. So our township report for June 2024, we had 118 incidents in the township. 10 of them were 911 hang-up checks. We wanted, and I'm just going to hit the highlights because some of these are kind of mundane. 4 alarms, Only 3 car deer accidents, which compares to, I think, 9 for Banks Township, surprisingly. 2 DNR complaints. We had 1 death, 13 driving complaints. We had 6 general assist to the public, 9 lift assist, which, where people fall and, have trouble getting up, usually assisting the EMS or medical. We had 17 medical assists, 3 personal injury accidents, 2 property damage accidents, 5 suspicious situations, 14 traffic stops, 1 stolen car, and 1 warrant attempt. So quite a busy month here in the township. And also we are, if you're not aware, the county is looking to build a public safety center. And with that, we have set up jail tours for people to be able to tour the jail, which is 69 years old. Just to give people a better education as far as what the condition of the jail is. That's one thing that is possibly going to be new if this goes through in November. So I have a list of dates. And I don't know if I can leave these with somebody.
Yeah,
Would you
leave
maybe
with
make
the
a copy,
clerk.
put on the website or something? For
Yes,
people?
sir.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I seen the list, but not everybody has.
The clerk, give her the.
Give it to
list.
her. Okay,
Yep.
give it to Kevin. All right. Anybody have any questions?
Nope, except
I do.
one. What's suspicious?
Suspicious, well, they could be a lot of things. That could be a car that's parked maybe where it shouldn't be, or somebody hearing noises or something outside their house, or just something
Okay.
suspicious. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
What's a driving complaint?
Driving complaint would be, somebody driving too fast and another motorist reporting it.
Swerving.
Potential drunk driving, that kind of stuff. Usually somebody driving poorly and another person reports it.
I mean, that definitely goes up in the summer here.
Oh, yeah,
And, I mean, out-of-state drivers or out-of-area drivers that come
sure.
in. I mean, I missed a head-on the other night just by about a foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, and because he was crazy. I wasn't passing, so, but anyways, I would have liked to have gone after him,
Well, I'm sure. Makes you mad.
but I calmed down.
Yeah.
All right, Sharon.
George, I don't know if everyone knows, but you've changed your policy also of some of your deputies taking your cars home. So I don't have the luxury of seeing our deputy early in the morning out here
Yeah.
in their car. That car was always a nice deterrent, for people going by. But
No,
so for the board that doesn't know, we won't see that much because he's taking it home with him now. So we won't see it in the parking lot like I am used to seeing and
Right.
talking with him. So we just want to point that out.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I
And
don't,
if we have any extra cars that aren't being used, if you'd rather one be parked out here, you can,
People
Leave-
drive by and see it.
If you
they
do,
think
leave
we're
the
the-
keys.
yeah, right.
I know Jason is next, but along that line, so we want to tell the public that when the car's not here, there's no protection in this building.
No, the car's gone. They're probably out on the
They're on the
road.
road.
They're out on the road, Kathy. But early in the morning, I miss seeing them. So
Yeah, for sure.
Jason?
I just was curious, out of the 118 calls, is it a mixture, or is it mostly local? Is it mostly people from out of town, or is it a mixture of both?
It's a mixture.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, if you have statistics on how your population, increases in the summer, I'm sure it's greatly,
60%.
60%. So, yeah, you probably do that pretty roughly. 60% of the calls would be out-of-state people, or out-of-town people.
You thought it was going to be an easy report.
I like the questions. Good. There are good questions.
Any other questions? If not, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty.
All righty then.
Thank you.
And you want this posted on our website? Yeah,
Thank you.
yes. I
we
will.
have a community connection. We can post it on there perhaps, maybe
Yeah.
add it to it.
Send it to Linda.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other items from the consent agenda?
Citizen comment, how about that?
Jeez, I'm really trying to move. Well, Alan, we're not going to make the 15 minutes.
Okay, do we want daughter or daddy? Daddy or daughter next? Okay, Jemima, Ruby.
I would like to read a poem about summer because these past few days have been very hot. It's by Wilma Martin. Summer is here. When the vegetables flourish and the sun shines hot, when the robins sing but the farmer does not, 'cause the baler's broke and a storm's on the way. Oh, it might rain on that beautiful hay. Though we're sticky and picky at this time of year, still wonderful, wonderful summer is here. When the housewife hums as she digs potatoes, when the lily yellow blooms turn into tomatoes, when the swallows swoop as the farmer mows hay to eat all the gnats that fly out of the way. When the corn ears ripen and their harvest is near, then wonderful, wonderful summer is here. When the sun arises in splendor of gold, and the daytime temperatures are far from cold. When a dip in the pond would feel all right, when the stars gleam boldly on a humid night. Oh, the cold, muddy weather is the kind that I fear, but for now, wonderful summer is here.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you,
nice,
Jemima.
thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm from Banks Township.
We kind of know that. What's next, since I'm not?
Jairus.
Yeah, I left a little card on your desk. It's about the woolly hemlock adelgid. I did a little more research since you asked some questions last month. It has been found on the north end of Torch Lake, obviously. My takeaway is I talked to the Conservation District about it. Mike Merriweather, I spoke with him about it. He's our forester. If you think you may have it, just call them. They'll come out, they'll look at your trees for free, no charge. If you do have it, they'll treat the tree, no charge. And the cool thing about the treatment for this invasive is that it lasts 4 to 5 years, the treatment. So you don't have to do it every year. So that's nice. It started out along the lake in Holland, Michigan, and it's kind of been working its way up north. As people come up north in the summertime, we think that they're accidentally bringing it on their vehicles, but it's not a fast-moving invasive. A lot of people in the summertime, they park under a tree because it's in the shade, and some of the larvae fall on the car, and then wherever the car goes and parks the next spot. That's our theory on how it's moving mostly. The Antrim County Master Plan is posted. The commissioners will be voting on it this week. So if you have any questions or concerns, call or email me. I've looked through it. They've got a couple of pages in there on Torch Lake, so that's kind of cool. Didn't realize it was like 17,000 acres. It's a huge lake. So I think that's all I've got, unless there's questions.
Jairus, I'm looking at the card real quick. I've received from our public 2 or 3 applications for this. I need to get it over to the, I'm looking, Conservation District?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is
Yep,
there
Mike Merriweather works full-time for our Conservation District, and he's our forester, so.
Mark?
Mike
Merriweather.
Merriweather, yep.
Thank you.
He's been there a
Thanks.
long time.
And I've told other people, the easiest time to see it is in the fall. So if you know people that are going to be out hunting, like I probably will be, if I'm walking around in the woods this fall, I'm going to be looking at the hemlock trees. So look for little white balls on the underside of the needles.
The treatment is an inoculation, it's not a spray. That makes a difference too, so you don't have a lot of chemicals put out.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
And I do have another meeting, so I'm probably going to run, but
That's,
nice seeing you all again.
Yeah, okay.
Bye.
speak and run.
Thanks, Jairus.
All right, thank you. Next,
That's it.
that's it? All right. Now we'll move to the consent
Now you
agenda.
can.
Anybody wish to pull any reports? Hearing none, I make the motion, well, we accept it then by consent, all the reports as presented. Next item, special reports. Jason?
Yeah. We had 2 special use permits we voted on, short-term rental, we approved. The storage units, we did not approve. The gentleman that was trying to do that didn't have all the materials. He wasn't really prepared, so we did not vote on that. And then we also voted to, and we passed the ordinance to go on to the county. Is that how?
Yep, it's there. They're going to meet August 6th at, I think 5:30 on election night.
Jeez.
To go through it, so. I think-
Jason, I didn't hear the last statement that you made. You approved the first one, you postponed the second one?
Postpone the second one. I believe we're on track for Monday.
You're
No,
canceled
It's
for
been canceled.
Monday.
Okay,
Mhm.
Sarah said yesterday that they might cancel that, so that must be gonna be on August.
It will be on the August.
And then we voted to approve the ordinance to be moved on to the county.
Which ordinance would that be?
That's our zoning ordinance.
The whole thing? Okay,
Thing.
Yep.
195 pages.
yeah,
Finally.
to the county.
I know, to the county.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
How long does it take for them to review it and get it back to us?
I have no idea. I'm going to go
You
to the
know, Alan?
meeting. It,
They have a certain timeline, though. They've got to
it's
have
30 days.
Yeah, they've got to have it back, or it's automatic.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, it's a pretty big document. So it'll be interesting to see if they pick certain sections. I mean, I'm basically going to tell Steve Langworthy was the lead writer on it, along with our zoning administrator and her firm, which is well known in northern Michigan. So that will be the extent of my presentation there. All right, financial review, pretty simple as
Are
always.
you in a hurry? You skipped FOIA?
I did.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
All right.
We have 2 new FOIAs that I've just received not too long ago. One of them, I don't know the right word, when they send it out to like everybody, God and everybody, that came from a corporation, I guess, called FOIA Buddy. And they are asking for everything that we have, receipts, invoices, statements, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not quite sure how we are going to handle that one, but I did take the 10-day extension before I give our response. And the second FOIA just went out to, I believe all the board members should have gotten a copy.
Okay, is it on our website?
The planning commission, I'm saying board because I'm looking at Alan and Jason. I know you two are going to receive copies of that as well. So why Alan? Why am I saying
You sent it to
Alan?
my email here, the township email?
Yes, always the township
Yeah,
email.
okay.
Did you see the question about whether to use the township email for the applicant or not?
I saw it was,
I used the township.
I know you did.
Is that not correct?
Well, Jackie said some, I haven't had a chance to read it, but it should have come from a person and not a member of
Okay.
the
I can-
ZBA.
I can do that.
So
Okay.
I believe it should have been sent, but I'm not sure what Jackie said. So I think
Okay.
tomorrow, let's look at Jackie, because she sent out 3 or 4 different
Yeah.
emails.
And what I'm referring to is the affidavit that I sent out that you need to get back to me. And I think I just automatically sent it to the board so that they would be aware that there's a
Did
FOIA
you
out
do it
there.
this afternoon after I
I
left?
sent it yesterday.
But is it for us to fill out? We're
If,
being-
if it's applicable,
Okay.
it's probably not,
Can you tell
Alan.
us what these apply to, both 1 and 2?
Well, like I said, one is coming from it's a blast that came from outer space, I swear. I'm not sure it's legitimate. It, from a company called FOIA Buddy, and they want to know all of our expenditure information, who our vendors are. They want copies of receipts. They want everything having to do with expenditures.
Kathy reached out to Todd.
Yes,
Todd kind of said, you got to do something like this, but again, we're going to evaluate because they want all these copies, but they only want one copy as opposed to a lot of
they want the last
the
copy,
last
yes,
copy of
but
each of the things.
each,
And it's mostly services, so telecommunications, our computer people.
Software.
VC3, BSNA. So at this point, we're kind of looking at it, and we'll see if Todd forces us to respond quickly, but we're going to take the 10
I did take
days
the
to
10
begin
days.
with. And then we might say it's going to take 6 months to pull all that stuff
Indeed.
together.
And we would need a deposit down before we even started too.
what's
Well,
that?
We would need a deposit down before we even started anything.
Probably, if
We would
it's,
send that request as well, yeah.
It's
So
kind of
that-
like, it's like those companies that reach out and want my whole day, so that every taxpayer and every address, and it's the same type of thing.
Yeah.
do you send that then?
I
You have
delete
to-
a lot of
you have
things
to
off of
redact
it.
a lot, yeah.
I can send a property number. I don't give pertinent information. I don't give addresses or anything. I don't feel that it's not part of, in our policy, it's not part of our,
Do you get any
Confidential
follow-up from the people who are asking for more information, or does that kind of end it once you send something?
it ends.
Okay. All right, Kath?
Right.
Anything else?
No,
Because I didn't, when you said you sent it to the board, I didn't receive anything yet, so I don't know what
I
I'm
sent
doing.
it,
The planning commission.
this is only Tuesday. I thought I sent it to all the board members so that they would know that we have a FOIA.
Well,
I didn't
that's
get
part
one.
of your report. You would not send them the request because they're going to think they have something to submit. And I think Ellen, unless you got some things from either the applicant or from the Bay Harbor people, you might want to include that information, but I didn't get anything.
Well, I know why I included him, because you provided email address to Virginia,
No. To Kristen.
to Kristen,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
That's probably why I included him.
yeah, I had, and again, that was my mistake. They wanted to know how to get a hold of the zoning administrator. And I did have Andy Gray's phone number. When I went to his record in my phone, there was Kristen's address or email, and I didn't think twice that if you couldn't get a hold of Andy, you could ask Kristen how to reach Andy because he was off and away. But no, that's what happened there.
That's fine, that's
Okay.
fine. Okay,
All set?
that's it for FOIA.
All right. The expense review is pretty simple. The income, the budgets were pretty much on. Expenses are higher again because of the timing for the second ambulance deposit, and we had to give a fairly significant deposit to the road commission. All of that variance ultimately will go away during the course of the year. We have a positive cash position for the general fund of over $900,000, but again, that number is going to decrease over the next 6-7 months until we get back into tax collection in December. If anybody has any questions, specific questions on the budget, they can reach out to me at any time. With that, we'll move on. At this point, we have no old business. We have one new business item. And Jason, I will ask you to leave the room as it pertains to your company. All right, as everybody remembers, Alan and Wendy Davidson resigned. It was effective yesterday. So we had about a 2.5-week notice. We ran 2 ads in both the Antrim paper and Elk Rapids for bids. We only received 1 bid. And that came from Lawns Unlimited, which is owned and run by Jason. So he's put a bid, you see the document before you, it will terminate on November 30th after he does, if it's a little later because of fall cleanup. But he will do the fall cleanup, he'll do all of the lawns and the trimming around all of them. He has advised me that the weed whacking on the fence at the day park has incurred a little damage, and so he suggested that we get some guards that go around, because what I don't want to do is start throwing grass around, the grass killer around each post and around the rocks. That would just, in my mind, not look appropriate for our park. So there's guards they can put at the bottom, allows them to still do the weed whacking.
Along the roadway?
The road,
Yeah,
that
oh,
fence, yeah.
That railing?
Yeah.
Not any other one, okay.
Yeah, there really isn't another
No,
fence down there.
no.
We have a couple
Yeah.
parking posts there in the
Right,
parking
right.
area, but that's it. So one of the provisions in there, he really doesn't know how much time it will take, so he's given us an estimate. And what I said is that as part of the provisions, if he is over the time by 10% or under the time by 10%, then we'll come back and we'll talk and see if there's an adjustment that's required. My feeling is at this point, the estimate is probably high. And once he gets in there and he gets used to the area, that's why we're not going to evaluate that until August 15th. So he'll have four weeks of work and we'll figure out exactly what's there. I thought that would be fair to to the company there. And if there was another vendor, I would have put the same thing in for him, because we have a lot of material that has to be taken care of. So his brother does Elk Rapids Cemetery. So he's helped there. So that should help. But we have a pretty good sized cemetery. So that's what they have presented. Questions?
The firemen suggested to me, after they seen what was on the agenda here, that they could probably mow the south station down there, or what's the deal there?
Well, Kevin called me and said, hey, during his time while he's on duty here, he or Ted could go out and cut the grass. I brought that up to Jason, and Jason said he has rearranged his schedule to provide the time to do all of it. So I think that's something we can evaluate for next year.
Okay, so there's something that he's going to look at and evaluate, because the cemetery is one thing, or there's a lot of movement inside there versus the fire station down there, type of thing.
South Station
Right.
is small, and
Right.
in this area, you've had an opinion about how it's been looking around here.
Yeah.
Jason agrees.
So my question would be just the mowing and so forth. And then next year, I know the bushes, they all need trimming and everything. Is he familiar with doing that type of
Jason
thing?
said he would trim them. It's not part of this estimate because he said they're so overgrown that by the time he trims them, you're just going to be basically seeing.
They haven't been kept up
branches.
for a long time.
I mean,
So I don't know if we can get a landscaper in to,
well, it's based on what Jason said, it would be better if we just pulled them and started over. That's something we don't have in the budget.
Right.
But we wouldn't be doing something like that until next April. And that's something we could put in the
Gotcha.
next budget.
What bushes are we
All the
talking about?
junipers.
all the way
Around.
around. They're
All this stuff.
the weeds, and they're not been landscaped at all. It's ferocious.
So anyway, I think that's one of the things we'll have to look at next year.
Okay.
In the budget.
But if he's willing to get in and do it for a month and see what he can adjust this type of hours or whatever.
Right.
So how do we pay him? Do we pay him by the job, or do we pay him by the contract, or how do we pay him?
It's by the price that he puts here, $225 per cut per week.
So
will
does
be
he
the township
invoices?
law.
How will
Sorry?
he bill us?
Does he invoices every
He's
month
gonna-
then?
He'll invoice us on his schedule. I
Okay.
haven't asked him that, but since the clerk is here, you can ask him after we decide on the decision, we can then ask him when he comes in. But I would say, I don't know what Mary does for their billing cycle, but I would assume it's once a month.
Probably monthly.
So that he would be doing 4 cuts for each invoice. But we'll ask him if that's critical. I'm not sure that's critical, as long as we get an invoice from him, and I don't think we're not going to get an invoice.
So we're not paying it by this contract, we're paying it by the job then?
Well, it is,
As we, is a
it's-
contract saying that much, but
that's the sum of what it would be for the time period that he thinks he'll cut grass plus the fall cleanup,
unless he makes adjustments.
unless we make adjustments for it, and he's got to come to me to do that.
Okay. So then, when the invoice comes in, then you'll okay the invoice then?
I will
Okay.
open the invoice.
I have comments.
Lots of them?
Mhm.
Okay. You're full of surprises tonight.
I know. No, the fact that we haven't had to deal for this job with a professional company, if you will, the fact that Alan and Wendy have been doing this job for a long, long, long time and doing a very good job, in my opinion. I live right next to the cemetery, as you know, and I think it always looks very well maintained. I think we must have underpaid them. So I just would like to go on record again as saying I appreciated the work that they did for the township, and I'm sure we all do. And as far as contracts go, I would have no idea if this is high, low, in the middle.
Well, we will rebid it next year.
Okay,
And we'll see if we get any other
bids.
bids. We covered a large area, local area. I mean, if we went outside to places like Traverse City or,
I
They're
think,
gonna
I think
charge
the
you.
time frame right in the middle of summer was the best of time to place a bid. But I know Alan and Wendy hasn't done the cemetery forever, because Jerry did the cemetery forever, and they have done it since Jerry left.
And how long ago was that?
Maybe 2.5 years ago.
Or longer, I'm guessing. At any rate, thank you, Alan. Thank you,
Yep.
Wendy.
Yes, I agree.
any other questions? If not, I'll take a motion on this.
Oh, what kind of motion are we going to do on here?
Did you write that out?
It's on the
I
back
did.
side. Do we want to motion to approve the contract with potential adjustments?
It's in there as presented in their proposal.
Yeah, but doesn't talk about potential.
It does too, last item.
Oh, geez.
I'm sorry.
In the contract. Down at the bottom, it says both parties to review the estimate,
Oh, I see. Okay.
okay?
Okay.
I would like to make the motion to approve the contract with Lawns Unlimited effective July 16 through November 30, 2024 for services as presented in their proposal totaling $18,225.
Motion has been made as presented. Is there a second? I'll second it. Oh, go ahead. You want to, Sean?
Go ahead. It doesn't matter.
All right, I'll second it. Motion has been moved and seconded to approve the contract with Lawns Unlimited effective July 16th, 2024 through November 30th, 2024 for services as presented in their proposal totaling $18,225. Any further discussion on the motion?
No.
Hearing none. Kathy,
Roll call.
roll call.
Bob, you're first.
Yes?
Sharon,
Yes.
Alan,
Yes,
and myself, yes. Motion is approved 4-0 with
Alright.
Jason recused.
All right. I will go get Jason. All right, thanks, Sharon. Yeah. So we had one question is, what's your invoicing cycle? Every other week, monthly, weekly? Once a month. All right. All right, board. Moving on, agenda for board discussion, we have nothing. Information only, we have nothing. Citizen comment,
No?
would you like
Yes.
to? Come
Yes,
on.
please.
I just have a question. Are we talking about the cemetery on the other side of the torch?
Yes.
Yeah, the boundary is right close there. I didn't know if that was in the next township.
No,
That's all.
We get it all.
it's close to, but it's still within ours.
If you would like, you could make a citizen comment if you want. No, you're okay? We're going to work on it. All right, board comment? Sharon, we'll start with you.
I have nothing.
Alan, Jason,
I would just like to know, what, anything happened with this letter that we got?
that letter, we followed up with the people
Uh-huh.
because it was a complaint.
Yeah.
And I made one phone call, 2 personal visits, left my name, number, and they never contacted me. So as far as I'm concerned, we have responded to the complaint. I told Sharon's the one that took that, and I've made the effort to communicate, to get the details associated with it. Alan had a particular document, I forget the year, 19-something, in which you itemized the various homes. When we passed the short-term rental, you made a list of the properties that were grandfathered, and one of the properties there was one that had been grandfathered.
Oh, really?
oh, is that one of those?
Yes,
Okay.
Gideon's, I believe, was the property.
Giddings.
And then the
The
other
Giddings
item,
compound.
I'm sorry?
Giddings compound.
Yeah, and then the other one was for the dock,
Yeah.
and neighbors, I talked to a couple of the neighbors, and they said that dock's been there since the cottage was there. So
Fair enough.
Jackie responded to them.
Another letter went out to them today too, also.
Yeah.
Good,
so
okay.
We have taken care of that, which is why it was given to the board, but it was being handled through the zoning office.
They just needed to vent.
Yeah, I know. I almost was like,
Yeah. Kat,
The only thing we have on future minutes, we already said that the planning was canceled, right? Okay.
Kat,
I have no comment.
and I have none tonight. So with that, I'll make the motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second,
All in
7:43.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
7:33,
7:40.
43.